What's going on there, guys? We back with another one, and today I want to react to a video on Way Up with Angela Yee. Now, she had Dwight Howard as a guest today, and he spoke on several topics, but I'm just going to focus on two. He was speaking about the most recent allegation on him about the battery and assault, and also he spoke on Royce Reed, his baby mother from Basketball Wives. And we're going to check this out, and I'll be stopping it at different points, but I really want to focus on this part. Let's peep it.
I know that there's people and things that are trying to pull me down, but I know my why. I know my purpose and where I'm trying to get to. And if I allow all this stuff to knock me off my pivot, I'll never make it. So it's the same message I give to my kids, the same message I'll give to anybody.
Well, that can't be easy for you because most recently we saw the posts and the blogs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a couple of years ago, there's a guy who claims that, you hit him up in the DMs, and now there's a lawsuit. And I believe it's from 2021, if I'm not mistaken, right? And so how did you react to something like that? Because like you said, you're over here preaching positivity, living positivity, but then something like this happens.
I didn't react. Assault and battery. Y'all have been around me for how long?
40 minutes, maybe.
40 minutes. I've never in my life assaulted or hurt anyone. I'm not even that type of person.
I ain't gonna lie to y'all, the body language wasn't up to par in that answer. Angela Yee, before that, Dwight Howard was quoting Bible scriptures. He was saying, this, that, no weapon formed against me, everything else. He was talking about what he did with his kids and how he was teaching them self-defense and different things like that, and really instilling positive things on them. And Angela Yee was like, that sounds cool, but if you're up here preaching that, why do these sorts of allegations keep coming out? And he was like, how long y'all been around me? And he expected probably one of them to say, oh, we've seen you for years. But Jasmine from the Jasmine brand said 40 minutes. And you could see in Dwight Howard's face that didn't go with how he wanted to flip that narrative. Like he's just incapable of something like that. I'm just going to say his body language, and he was putting his head down, looking around, looked like something was off. I ain't saying everything is true, but something is off about that. After the conversation continued a little bit more, they pivoted towards the child support system, and I knew Dwight Howard's take was going to upset Angela Yee and her co-host. Let's check it out.
I feel like it's all a plan to mess up the families. I think it's a plan to make the mom and the dad upset at each other to where they're fighting about, time with a child. They're fighting about who gets the money. When I personally feel like it shouldn't be child support, because child support is enabling. In my experience, it can enable, and what I've seen, it can enable the moms. And sometimes it is not for the child.
Well, everybody's experience is different, because I also know dads who don't pay any money.
Yes,
and
I do. I know those
and so
dads
sometimes
too.
it is necessary.
Correct.
So it's
I
a
can
case by
understand
case
that,
scenario.
But
It's
in
not
Taiwan, they don't have child support.
But here's and that's cool. But I know I've had experiences. I have friends that have had experiences whose dad weren't involved in their life and didn't pay.
Kids be waiting for their dad to come get them. Their dad
Yeah.
never shows up.
Yes, that happens in a
it
lot of
does.
situations.
Yeah, not all of them though.
But why should you have to pay? Why should it be you have to pay when both parents have had the child? Why should it just be the father or the person who has the most income pay?
I knew the conversation would get spicy when Dwight was saying, they should do away with child support. Now, some people do need child support, whether it's the mother that's absent or the father that's absent or trying not to be involved in the kid's life. Sometimes, the kid does need some money. But Dwight is saying, like, why would I have to pay, $40,000 and $50,000 a month? You know how those celebrities have to pay a certain amount of money that seems outrageous, And he's like, why is it like that? Because no child don't necessarily need that. That is more for the parent to live the life they want and to get everything they want out of life without working for it. Only thing they did was, just have your child and it's not like I'm trying to be absent. We just co-parenting. Now, so Angela Yee is like, you have these extreme situations that go the other way where the father doesn't want to be involved. So the courts make them get involved. So I want to know y'all take on this, ladies and gentlemen. Get in that comment section because this is going to be a big debate. Let's continue though. Let's see what more they had to say.
For everything, it should be. If it's both parents, it's co-parenting, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be support.
Yeah.
So in other
But
words,
it hasn't been support.
Right, and I think sometimes the father doesn't even pay enough. Like in some cases,
the
child
father doesn't
support.
pay
No,
enough?
some cases child support is $35 a month. Like
Or
I've
like
seen,
$100 a month.
or if he's
Okay,
getting
then,
paid
so
off the
both
books.
parties should go and get a job. It should
Yeah,
not,
I
it-
agree
it
with
can't-
that.
Yeah,
it
but
can't-
I
Go
agree
ahead.
with that, but I do think that if the mom has a child the majority of the time, and that's like housing, food, clothes, schooling, sometimes you might need to have
Okay,
to
but
get a
you
nanny.
Get a job.
And if a woman has a job, she's paying for somebody to take care of her kid while she's at work. But all of those things do cost money, right? And
Correct.
so I do believe both parties participate in
Yeah.
that. But I think it's a case-by-case scenario because there's definitely some dads that are like, I'm not letting them know how much I make. I'm getting
And there's
paid off
some
the
moms
books.
who do the same thing.
Yeah.
It can go both ways. So what I'm saying is they need to redo the whole thing because anytime somebody who has money gets involved with somebody who might not have the same amount of money,
Yeah.
the person who doesn't have the same amount of money, they reap all the benefits.
So some interesting points there. Angela Yee was talking about some fathers getting like $35 a month child support. We seen that based off them not making much money. And I've seen some women get greedy and try to get more out the man, and the court actually reduced because the man had already stepped up and was paying more than he was actually required to pay. So it could go that way too. Now, Dwight, he changed it. He was like, whether it's male or female, whoever makes the most money shouldn't be liable for supporting someone's lifestyle. And he was like, all the other things like, daycare, living expenses and all that stuff costs money. And Dwight's like, get a job. Now, in Dwight's situation, he plays overseas. He's been in the NBA. So having a responsible parent or some responsible relatives around is very much needed when you're going to be away that much. But somehow, this is what I would say. Somehow the funds, why can't it be set up like a trust for the child when they turn 18? You support them. You give them, it should be capped at a certain point, right? How much support the child actually needs a month. So even if it was something that would be high to the common man, like if Dwight was paying $8 to $10K a month, it should be capped. How much support does a child need a month? That's enough for the woman that he's with or that he fathered a child with to have a nice place to stay, feed themselves, nice vehicle, and their basic needs, and some. If I give you $10K a month for 12 months, you made $120,000 that year. So it's not like that's not enough for you to live. You just want to make $500,000 or $1 million a year out of it. And that's where I think the problem lies. But let's continue.
But
It's
the
just
average,
hard 'cause
the average
everyone's-
person doesn't
that's
have a child with
that feels like that's a more
famous
your
person,
issue,
a
but
rich
it-
person.
Yeah.
Okay, so how many entertainers, how many celebrities, and how many basketball players have to go through this? They pay crazy buku amounts of child
Right.
support.
Yeah. See,
And-
that's not the thing. That's not our world. Like we have friends that
Yes,
have
but
regular.
but what do y'all do?
It's just hard because, of
y'all
course-
make posts and y'all comment, and then it's about the father didn't do this or the father, but the father is the one. So you want the father to go out, make all the money,
No.
and then you want then you want the father to be present, and you want the father to go do all the things that the mother is doing. Like it gotta be something. The
Some
energy,
balance.
it gotta be balanced. So if we're not in a relationship, you can't say, well, he ain't been with his kid in 2 weeks. Okay, so what if I had to go out the country for 2 weeks? This happens to pilots. This not just basketball players and entertainers. This pilots. This what you call those people? Doctors. These people spend a lot of time at their jobs.
Yeah.
So is it fair to say?
I agree, but I do think it's a case because I also know women who sacrifice their careers, right, because they have to stay home with their kids, so they're not able to be like, oh, I'm going to go away for 2 weeks to work because I have to be home, to take care.
That goes back to what you gotta choose the person that you have your child with, correct? And you can't just try to do it because you looking for a come up. And I'm not saying that's my situation. I don't want nobody to take it that way.
You're just saying in general.
But in general, a lot of times when women see somebody who has money and they try to get with them, they're looking for a way to do what? Get
and a lot of
security.
times guys also aren't making the smartest decisions. It's if you see a woman and you're not doing what you need to do, you're not protecting yourself. And
so that means
it's a two-way street.
Yes. So, but who at the end of the day, who gets to decide about the child?
The court.
The
mom.
woman.
Oh.
At the end of the day,
you're talking
who
about the
gets
legal
all
system,
the support and everything? The woman. So, and then while all this is happening, on the flip side of it, what is the father getting? The father gets booted out. Everything now that we've seen in social media and in our world today is they trying to make all the homes fatherless, or they're trying to change how people view fathers here in America.
I'm going to say this. If Dwight was looking to clear his name about the allegations that came out on him, I don't know if bringing up child support on this podcast was the best option, because they're going to have strong opinions against his viewpoint, especially in the heat of the moment. I feel like Angela Yee's making some good points, and I feel like Dwight's making some good points. But when Dwight says women and words like looking for a come up, or ulterior motives, and that's going to trigger these ladies into responding in a way where I don't want to say it's confrontational, but they're going to combat you a little bit on your talking point. So I don't know if this was the best option for him to come speak out. But let's check out what else he had to say. A little bit more.
No. Why we can't figure it out? Because we rushed to have a child. Somebody out of both parties was looking for a way to have some type of security. And
sounds very specific right now.
No, I'm not being specific. I'm talking about
for a quick nut with
so if a guy is looking for a quick nut, and you know this as a female, why would you have a kid with him?
No, we'd have to ask that young lady.
Yeah,
that's
those women.
Okay. So the man want a quick nut and the girl want a baby. Which one had ulterior motives? The worst.
Well, both of them. I mean,
no.
If you want a quick nut, why don't you use a condom?
You can still use a condom, and still some people have got.
I don't know anybody that got pregnant with a condom. I know people say that.
It's not 100% effective.
I know that, but I don't know anybody.
So if you're dating with somebody for over 3 years,
yes, we're not using condoms.
Okay, so if you get pregnant and the other person's like, I don't want a kid, you're gonna go and have the kid regardless?
Well, at 3 years, I think we probably have talked about whether or not we're going to have children together.
Especially if you know it's at risk of that happening because we've been having unprotected sex.
Yes, but if y'all been having sex for 4 years, let's say y'all had sex for 4 years.
Whatever the number is,
2, 3, 4 years, you never got pregnant.
That's happened.
That all
happens.
Of a sudden you get pregnant.
Jasmine's like, hello, it's how I have my
baby.
baby.
Yeah.
So then what happened after that?
Yeah.
How do you, what if the father... how can you be mad at the male if you say, listen, I didn't want a child.
Right.
You're forcing me to have something that I don't want. How, is that fair?
I mean, it kind of is if you are having unprotected sex. If you guys are having unprotected sex together, because if you want,
that can happen.
Okay, so
it
if you have the baby, then you can't say, well, if I have this baby, you got to take care of it.
What?
Yeah, man. So I don't get what Dwight is saying right here. He kind of lost me. If you have unprotected and the woman keeps that life and she wants to have that life, then she can have that life. And you do have to be responsible for filling in and pitching in and doing your part, because you could have avoided that by not penetrating down the paint and scoring. You know what I'm saying? you could have avoided all of that by abstaining. And I know people say, oh man, that's crazy. That sounds too hard. Well, yeah, it could sound hard. It could be impossible for you. Okay, whatever you want to say it is. But just know when it is, these are the consequences. And so I kind of got lost by Dwight there. I mean, I kind of understand some of the stuff he was saying about child support in different situations that shouldn't be just blanket if the father's going to take care of the kids. At the same time, you know, if you're going to do what you do and don't protect yourself, or, you know, even if you do, she could still have it. If that was to happen, then, you know, you the daddy, man. So, all right, this is my question to Dwight. Say you express that you don't want to have the child. She says, no, I'm going to have this child. The child comes out and it's yours. Are you just not going to support it? You just going to talk about how much you didn't want to have the child? Or the child is already here and you got to be the father? Or you just be fine with another man coming in taking on that role? You know, like, I really don't know what he wants out of that. But I don't know, man. I just want to know what you guys think about this in the comments. I want to share this with y'all, though. And what also do you think about him and these allegations? I definitely want to know about that. But shoot, holler at me in the comments, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time. Peace.